Hi, my name is Amanda Peddle and I am the author and creator of the Tam's Journey book series and the programmes that go alongside it. And something about me is that I've worked in education and children's settings for the last 24 years, working with a range of young people and families and services in order to promote the understanding of how our nervous system response impacts on our day-to-day emotional reactions, because I'm very, very passionate about changing some of the language that we use in terms of response and some of the natural responses that we have. And the programs are very beneficial to children and they engage with them really, really well. So I am a mum of a 29-year-old with neurodiversity needs. So from a personal experience, we've had a bit of a journey, and our journey has enabled us to create a journey that other people can join us on, which explores a different way of expression and understanding and how to navigate the very tricky emotional needs that all of our children, whether they have neurodiversity needs or not, all of our adults and all of our families are really crying out for at the moment, especially since COVID, because the entire planet's nervous system shifted and we're all still really trying to understand how that works and why it affects us in the way that it does. So I started out as a teaching assistant and I worked my way through education and was constantly frustrated with the challenges of working with children who fell through the gaps. And I worked my way up different roles in terms of managing a year, pastoral care, year leader, and I thought I was frustrated with education, so I moved into residential children's care services, and then I realised that I wasn't frustrated with each individual system. I just was frustrated with systems in the first place, constantly seeing children who should have services and intervention, but because they didn't fall into a clear-cut range of services, they quite often weren't deemed as suitable for a particular service, so they actually got nothing. And I would spend my days trying to talk to them under bushes, in stairwells, outside cupboard doors, staying up all night, just trying to find a way to relate to them on their level. And that's really where the passion for the relational engagement comes in. And that really was important when I was trying to decide how to turn my work into something that could reach a number of people in a contained way, in something that wasn't threatening, in something that could be enjoyed by different age ranges, and something that would reach different generations in different settings. So the idea of a story where we have a central character that could apply to all of us, and then explored in a nice, colourful, joyous way, was enabling rather than labelling, and allowed children to develop an understanding of how their bodies work, why it works in the way that it works, how that may present, how that may be perceived, and really try and create a way of having some of these conversations without shame, because some of the language that we use is still very shame-based. Some of it is very clinical. There's a lot of pathologizing of language in how we phrase some of the things that we say to our children. There's an awful lot of information out there which I think becomes so overwhelming when we're trying to process such a lot in the way that we live anyway. So that was really at the heart of how our stories developed. My own journey as a mum with a child with additional needs has influenced that massively. Working with children who are labelled as challenging without having the relationship to support them in being seen for, in generally, the lovely young people that they are and the lovely children that they are, but because their responses are sometimes unhelpful, they don't get a chance to shine. and really have a safe space with someone who isn't going to judge them for that, but is going to help them to find a way to understand that and remove shame for themselves. So I'm going to be popping on at different points to share little bits of information for this service, and that's just a little introduction to who I am.